I'm Katz from Katz Blaster Mods, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install my Barricade battery tray replacement on a blaster of your choosing. This video will focus primarily on installing this particular battery tray replacement into a Centurion. However, the processes covered in this video will apply to most other blasters and any other side-mounted battery tray replacement I release in the future, with some slight variation based on geometry. Let's get right into it. Before you begin, you will need a few things. The printed parts themselves, a hot glue gun, something to cut a hole in the shell, be it a rotary tool, drill, and a saw of some sort, or whatever method you see fit, something to clean up the cuts like a file, knife, or sandpaper, something to clear out the inside of the shell, glue to permanently affix the frame to the shell, an M3 nut and screw of at least 10mm in length, and a blaster of your choice. The blaster I will be using is the Centurion strife integration I've been working on. With all of the necessary tools and materials gathered, let's start the installation process by supergluing the nut into the frame like so. If you're worried about your screw sticking out too far and puncturing your battery, you can always glue on a little bit of foam padding to cover it. Next, I'm going to cut a hole in the shell. To do that, I'm going to find where I want the door to be, take the optional cut guide, and hot glue it in place. Now that the cut guide is glued in place, I'm going to cut out a hole. With the hole now cut out, I'm going to go through and clean it up to my liking. The next step in the process is clearing out the inside of the shell to ensure sufficient clearance of the frame and battery. Now you're ready for the next step, setting the frame into place. But before you rush into doing that, you should verify fitment, which is where the shims come in. You may need to modify the frame slightly to get it to fit correctly, like is the case in setting it into a Centurion. Now that the frame has been modified to fit the Centurion, I need to find the right shims to make it flush. To do that, I'm going to just hold the frame in place and hold shims up to it until they're flush with the frame. In my case, I found that a 1mm shim and a 0.8mm shim is the right thickness to flush it out. Now that I know what thicknesses I need, I'm going to cut shims down until they fit in the shell. With fitment now verified, you can go ahead and start gluing the frame in place. To do that, I will be using Permatex Plastic Welder, which has methyl methacrylate as an active ingredient. When using a glue with methyl methacrylate, I recommend using gloves to avoid getting it on your hands. With the frame glued in place, all that's left to do is clean up the surrounding area and paint. If you like what you've seen here today, be sure to check out the printables page in the description to get the files to do this on your own blasters.